Stand up, New York Giant fans. I got Mr. Baddog back on the channel. What is going on, Mr. Baddog? What is going on, 20 Savage, Road Dog, Mr. Gooner Gaming, Goose 76, Abar, Colby, Ron FX Granddad, Finland Ball is in the house. Mr. Baddog, how you doing, buddy?
We're doing good, man. We're doing all right. How you doing? You know, it's warm here. It's like 35 degrees. It's raining. Get rid of some of this damn snow I got over here.
Yeah, it's so crazy because on, I think it was, what, Sunday, it was like, what by you said it was negative 23 with the wind. And then I go out there today, it's like 40 degrees.
Negative 33 with the wind on Monday, yeah.
That's insane. Absolutely
yeah, 18 inches of snow on Sunday. Beautiful, beautiful time of year up here in the Northeast.
What do we got in the chat here? We got Abar in the chat. We got Dane in the chat. Eddie Sanchez, thank you to everybody for tuning in. Christopher Columbus is in the chat. He says it's 75 degrees in Cali. Well, now you're starting to piss me off, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for rubbing it in.
What's going on, Stinking Redskins? Thank you to everybody who's tuned into the stream. Joe Lutz says we got Gotti and Capone.
Yeah.
What up? Did you see the CBS report today? I don't know what you're pertaining to, One Giant. I may have. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Nelson, what's going on, my man? Sperm Cell, of course, poking fun at the jerk-off thing.
That's the best thing ever. That was fantastic. I loved it.
So I figure, obviously, we're going to get into a little Giant talk. We're going to talk free agency. We're going to talk draft. We're going to talk all that. But I figure, I mean, it's the big, you know, the week before the big game. We got to dive into the Super Bowl a little bit.
Yeah.
Not the Super Bowl I was hoping for. I know you were pulling for the Patriots. It's still going to be a good Super Bowl. There's no doubt about it. And I'm really excited about this game, actually. I think it's going to be a really good, entertaining game. I want to get your thoughts on it.
It definitely should be good. I mean, I think you got a great matchup here. I mean, obviously, you know, you got the Patriots who, they just know how to win. I mean, this is why I never bet against those guys. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. It doesn't matter what Vegas says. It doesn't matter what all the pundits say. You never bet against the damn Patriots. And then, of course, you got the Rams. And the Rams have looked really good. To go into New Orleans and beat the Saints. And I know, obviously, the huge controversial non-call, which, you and I were doing a game.
Right.
And both of us were screaming at the TV, how the hell do you not call pass interference on that? So, obviously, the Rams got a huge break. But still, the Saints are up 13-0. They had a chance to really put them away. And the Rams, showed a lot of resolve, got back in the game, and ended up winning the game in overtime. So, give them a lot of credit. New Orleans is a tough place to win. And if they can run the ball and keep Tom Brady off the field, they got a good chance. But I think it's a very even game. I don't know what the line is. But
yeah, I haven't looked at the line. I can't imagine it being more than 3 points. But you're right. What you just said, I mean, the Rams beat the Saints at their own game. The Saints did. They did to the Saints what the Saints did to the Eagles the week before. The fake punt when they were down 13-0, that changed the whole game. Now, of course, we all know the penalties played a factor, but the Rams have played great in these playoffs. They beat a hot Cowboys team, and they beat them pretty easily. And then they go up against New Orleans in New Orleans, and they're down 13-0 in the toughest place to play, and they fight back. The Rams showed a lot of fight, and as I said in my call-in show, I think the Rams. I'm gonna pick the Patriots because they've made me look like a fool the last 2 weeks. But I think the Rams match up incredibly well with the Patriots. As a matter of fact, I think I can make an argument that there's not another team in football that matches up better. I think that's how well they match up because of their strength on defense.
Yeah, that's how you beat Brady. The pressure up the middle. And with Sue and Donald, those guys can get pressure up the middle. That's how we beat them in those Super Bowls. It was Justin Tuck that got all the pressure on Tom Brady in both of those Super Bowls. So it definitely helps when you can get pressure on Tom Brady up the middle and he can't step into his throws. That's definitely a big thing. But what was funny, and I mentioned this in the stream, the week before the Eagles went up 14-0. Saints look lost. The fake punt with Taysom Hill gets them out of it. They come back, they win. This week, the Rams down 13-0. They do the fake punt. They get the first down. It's like a complete reversal of what happened the week before. It's
crazy.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely
how
crazy.
That worked out.
And we know as Giants fans, the Saints did it to us this year. When we played the Saints, we stopped them 3 and out. The next drive we go down, we score 7. The very next drive we get another 3 and out, and they pull the fake punt, and the game was never the same after. And that really changed the whole momentum in all 3 of those games. And
I'm sure that that momentum did happen against the Giants, of course. Because of frickin' CBS, I didn't see any of that.
Oh,
because I was watching the damn Texans and Colts in overtime, which I'm still mad about. I got the Giants game with like 6 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that stream.
You got the game, but
I remember that. Yeah, I remember watching that stream back that you couldn't. Goose said he likes snow. We don't. We hate snow. We absolutely despise snow. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this game, and I'm curious to see what the chat thinks. I want to get some of the chat's predictions. 35-28 Rams. Lucas Milk says that's a high-scoring game. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be that high-scoring because if I'm the Rams, my strategy coming into this game is to milk the clock, similar to what the Giants did when they beat them. When the Giants had those long, methodical drives running the football, and they are equipped to be able to do that. They have a very good offensive line, and they have arguably the best back in football in Todd Gurley. So, and I think he will be back to near 100% with the 2 weeks rest. I don't think they have to worry about that. It's going to be a great game. I know the Rams are a better team, and I know they match up really well, but I can't pick against Belichick in the Super Bowl. I just can't do it.
It's like me. I know the Chiefs are a better team. Didn't matter. I can't. I say it all the time. I can't pick against them. Sportsery did their video. I went in there. I said, I think, what the hell was I called? 27. I think I said 31-27 Patriots. And QC says, he goes, you really can't pick against them. And I said, no, I can never in the playoffs. I can't do it. I don't have it in me to pick against it unless they're playing the Giants. I'll pick Giants over the Patriots every time because for whatever reason we do well against them.
Yeah.
But well, I don't know if we will now that Coughlin's not there. I think Coughlin had their number more. So it'll be interesting to see what we do against them this year or 2019. But I can't do it. I think coaching a quarterback player is so important at this level. You know, when you get to this point in the season, and Belichick's the best. He's the best ever. I mean, he's been in 11 freaking Super Bowls as a coordinator or head coach.
Yeah, and
7 of them.
And a big factor in this game is you have a very experienced coach going against, and as good as he is, he's inexperienced. He doesn't have a lot of, he's still young. He's only been coaching there for 3 years. And you have an inexperienced quarterback going against the most experienced quarterback in a situation like this. So that could play a huge factor. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I was very impressed with Jared Goff in the second half.
Oh, he played great?
Against the Wolves, because he played great. Yeah. First half, he didn't play well against Dallas, and he didn't play well in the first half. The second half, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So maybe Goff has a little confidence going into this game, but I'll tell you what, man, this is a big stage for a young kid and a young team and a young coach, and you're going against the hated New England Patriots. Well, I don't understand why everybody hates them. I can't figure it out, man. I have a hard time understanding it.
Well, I'll tell you why they hate them, and I'll tell you why I hate them. It's because they always win. I can't stand it. That's why we hate them. It's the same thing with the Yankees. That's why everyone hates the Yankees, because they always win.
I don't hate the Patriots, though. I don't hate the Crimson Tide. I just don't. I hate our rivals.
Right. Oh, no. I definitely hate our rivals way more than the Patriots. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny? I'm sure you've seen all this talk about the guy pointing the laser at Tom Brady.
What'd you say?
The guy that pointed the laser at Tom Brady's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So it is funny. I never agree. I never agree with Colin Cowherd, ever. Hate him. But he makes a good point that if that was reversed, if they were in Foxborough and somebody was pointing the damn laser at Pat Mahomes, that would have been a story for 2 years.
Right.
Oh, Lasergate. This just swept under the rug like nothing happened. Oh, he pointed a laser at Tom Brady's eye. Who cares?
That's a good point.
It's unbelievable.
That's a good point.
There's media bias against. You can go ahead with that.
Go ahead with what? I'm sorry. Oh, it just came in for me. Oh, my God. Thank you so much, One Giant Rebuttal. I appreciate that very much. Everybody, I always like to shout him out. And he's going to be on the channel Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to that. Go over to One Giant Rebuttal's channel. Sub him up. He says, appreciate you guys. Unfortunately, things came up and got to run. Just wanted to show support. I appreciate that so much, One Giant Rebuttal. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah,
but I do find it funny how they just something happens to Tom Brady, they just kind of swoon on him. Who cares? But like I said, they still talk about that damn Deflategate, and to me, okay, yeah, that was stupid of them to deflate the balls. But if you look at that game that happened in the first half, Brady was terrible in the first half. The game was close. In the second half, the Patriots scored 28 unanswered points. LeGarrette Blount ran for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Right.
Nothing to do with the pressure of the ball.
Right. And nobody ever talked. No, you're absolutely right. The Deflategate thing was nonsense. You're absolutely right. It was hatred from the media, from the fans.
Yeah.
It was nonsense. Now, the other one, what was the Spygate?
Spygate.
I don't know all the specifics with that, but that sounded like that was a little more. That was against the Panthers, right?
I forget who they did that against. I thought it was against the Rams. I thought it was against the Rams in the first Super Bowl. But I don't know. I don't remember when it was.
Yeah, but that sounded like it might have been a little more to it than that. But the Deflategate thing, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolute nonsense.
But they still talk about it. And they've been better since.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, they're the hardest working team. Bill Belichick's the greatest coach ever, and he gets his players. What's so special about Bill Belichick is he gets his players to buy in no matter what. It doesn't. They could be. I feel like he goes out of his way to find players that aren't super talented because he knows that they'll be disciplined and they'll buy into the system. Like, he takes players off the scrap heap. Danny Woodhead's an example. I mean, there's tons of them. You go down the list. Chris Hogan. I mean, you go down the list. Wes Welker. Before he was a Patriot, he wasn't much with the Miami Dolphins. He turned them into a superstar. And he just finds these players that buy in and work hard for the system. And that's really what Tom Brady is. I'm not knocking Tom Brady, but he is the hardest worker in the history of football. And that's what the Patriots are about.
I think I forgot what I was going to say now. I think part of the reason he doesn't bring in superstars is because none of these guys are ever going to stand up to Tom Brady. This is Tom Brady's team. You don't want another ego. And I'm not saying Tom Brady has a...
No. Well, no, let's be fair. Tom Brady has an ego. That's why Jimmy Garoppolo... that's why Jimmy Garoppolo's not on the team anymore.
Well, I'm sure he does. I mean, you don't get to the level he's at without that chip on your shoulder. But... Nobody, like if Odell Beckham was in, you don't want to bring in Odell Beckham because it's going to cause waves with Tom Brady.
Oh, of course.
It's not going to work. So I think he brings these guys in here and that, just kind of sit there and go, they understand when they come in. This is Tom Brady's team. I'm not going to say, no, I'm just going to come in here and do my damn job. Because if I'm out to Tom Brady, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah. And by the way, I always like to say it, anybody that has not done so, please go down. The link is in the description. Please sub up my man, MrBaddog. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream here. Absolutely. There's your shout out, Enzo. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for Chewy for tuning in. And Mr. Cruz, you're absolutely right. Randy Moss is the lone exception. Randy Moss did come in. He played great for a year for the Patriots. He arguably one of the top two, probably the second best year ever by a wide receiver. I think he caught 23 touchdowns, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. But, I mean, and the other example was Chad Johnson. He didn't work out. That was another guy with an ego they brought in. He didn't work out.
Yeah.
I hate Brady because you're not allowed to touch him. I mean, Yvonne, you're absolutely right about that. And we saw that in the AFC Championship game. But to be fair, that's most quarterbacks in the NFL. Most superstar quarterbacks.
Except for Eli.
Kendra, what's going on? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Chuck Shard says, should the Giants go quarterback in the second round?
No.
I won't completely say no, but I'm of the belief if they are going to take a quarterback, I would go first round.
Gotta be first.
But if, like, for example, if they really like Daniel Jones and they don't like him enough to take him at 6 and he fell to the second round, maybe. Maybe that's a scenario, but I agree with you, Baddog. For the most part, I want to take a quarterback in the first round if they're taking a quarterback.
Now I looked at a mock draft. Says mock drafts all have us taking a quarterback. Now, the latest one I saw was Drew Lock. I can't see us taking Drew Lock 6th.
Well, you know why Drew Lock probably jumped up? They had the Senior Bowl. They have all the practices right now. Everybody's seeing him play well at the Senior Bowl. It's good. The mock drafts are going to be all over the place. We all say it all the time. last year, Mayfield was second round at this time. He jumped all the way to first overall. You can't go by the mocks. I mean, you're not going to get a real feel for it until after the combine.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. The Entertainer's doing a mock draft. I am stuck in the 80s. I'll be doing my first mock draft. Hopefully I'll have it up in about 4 or 5 days. I'm going to be doing a full first round mock draft. But obviously I'm going to, every 2 weeks or so, I'm going to do a new one. Mustard Bus is in the house. What is going on, Mustard Bus? Please sub up my man, Mustard Bus.
Mustard Bus!
Kyler in the second round. Bavith, you're nuts. You're nuts. Although I wouldn't be shocked if he goes late first. I wouldn't be shocked.
Top 10. Guaranteed.
He probably will, but I would.
If he goes late in the first round, he's going to play baseball.
No, I agree.
He's playing in the NFL unless he goes top 10 because he'll make more money playing baseball. He will not play in the NFL if he's not drafted top 10.
Unless he says, say they take him like where Lamar Jackson went this year, for example, like 30th overall, and he says, I'm going to hold out unless you give me $7 million guaranteed. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then he has the option to go play baseball. But
I still don't think he'd do that. But
I agree with you. If I'm him, I'm not, I got to be getting at least double what I'd be getting in baseball to commit to football, guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Because nothing's guaranteed in football if you get hurt. Baseball's a much safer route. So if he's guaranteed almost $5 million in baseball, I got to be guaranteed $10 million for me to commit to football. So I agree with you. He's got to be like, at worst, the 15th overall pick.
Yeah, I agree. I no problem stuck in the 80s. I love your stuff over there, man. I caught a couple of your videos there. I like what you do over there. I like.
He's a great video maker. He's an absolutely fantastic video maker. It's all about the moolah. Karen Singh says you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yes, for Murray it is.
Jet Central. Did I miss him? Where is he? Detonator says, hey, Jet Central. Did I miss Jet Central? If he's in the chat, please sub him up. Love JC. Thank you for tuning in, brother.
Oh, he is in the chat. He said, yo, yo, yo.
My man JC in the house. What is going on, Jean-Claude Van Damme?
And then right after that, he said, get tostitos, don't get Van Damme.
So, all right. So we talked a little bit about the Super Bowl. I got a question for you with the Super Bowl. Do you ever do any of the funny prop bets? You ever get into that?
God, I mean, I won't this year because it won't be at my buddy's house. But oh my God, the prop bet, dude. I mean, that's all we did.
Right.
Stupid prop bets. I mean, first play runner catch, first play 4 or more yards, first commercial, beer, soda, all the car. Yeah, all that.
Who's gonna catch the first touchdown? What color is the Gatorade gonna be? Yeah. It's always fun. Who's gonna win the coin toss? Just munching on some Tostitos.
There you go. See, don't get Van Damme.
Oh God! And by the way, I see. I think. Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome. I see. Kid Blue, I think, was in the chat. Somebody said, please sub him up, and he will be on the channel this week too. I'm gonna have a ton of giant YouTubers on the channel this week.
Gangrene David's in the house. I want to give a shout out to Gangrene David.
Gangrene David, absolutely. I missed him. There he is. Sub him up too.
Yes, and let him know that Sam Darnold stinks. He stinks.
Now let's be. I want to get your take on the Jets. We got 2 Jet YouTubers in here, so we might as well. I want to get your honest assessment on the Jets going into next year. How do you think? Where do you think they stand the next 2 or 3 years?
We're gonna kick their ass next year. That's our stand on the Jets. No, if the Jets listen, I like that they got rid of Todd Bowles. They needed to do that for Sam Darnold. They had to get rid of Todd, but Todd Bowles sucked. I told Gangrene David at the beginning of the year. I started that whole hashtag Fire Bowles thing on his channel. That was me. Giants fan started a hashtag Fire Bowles thing. If the Jets can get it, I'm looking at the mock drafts. I forgot who the hell they had them take.
Well, they're most likely they're going to take Quinnen Williams or they're going to take Josh Allen or one of those two.
I don't think Josh Allen. Well, yeah, either one of them. But if they were to take Jonah Williams, and if they were to sign Le'Veon Bell and get you a solid right tackle and get that stud running back, Sam Darnold could be. I won't say he'd be elite, but I do think that Sam Darnold would be very. I think he'd be very good.
Jared Goff.
Right. I don't know if he'd be that good, but he would. I mean, I could see him being as good as Nick Foles.
Yeah, well, I say Jared Goff because it's a similar situation. If you bring in an elite back, you improve the O-line. He has Gurley. He's got a very good O-line. Yeah. Both were first overall picks. Both didn't play great in their first year.
But McVay is Adam Gase is down there. Great. I didn't understand their signing, but I do think if the Jets improve their line and get a Le'Veon Bell, and they need a stud receiver. Like, I don't know. I mean, the only guy I can think of is Hollywood Brown. You're not taking him 3rd overall. He's probably a mid-first round pick. But I'd have to look at the receivers coming out of college. But the Jets could use
they're not getting a stud. They're not getting a stud in this draft. There's not a stud receiver in this draft.
Hollywood Brown is your guy.
When I say stud, I mean like a guy that's going to be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. I don't think there's one of those in this draft.
No, probably not. Probably not. But I do think that the Jets can definitely get better, but they need that running back. They need a running back. They need a home run hitting wide receiver.
Yeah,
and they need to build their line. If they can do that, again, I don't trust Adam Gase. I don't understand the hiring. But
I understand the hiring, but I don't like it. It's a boring hire, but he's known he's known, even though there's not a lot of evidence of it, he's known as a guy that is very good with quarterbacks. That's why they hired him. Now we're going to find out if he actually is.
Well, didn't he come from Miami?
Yeah, but
Tannehill sucked, though.
But the argument you could make was Tannehill played better than he probably is, and they made the playoffs. They made the playoffs on the games with a really bad team.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he wasn't boring. You saw his press conference.
Yeah, I'm not a huge
his eyes.
I'm not a huge fan of him.
There's nothing boring about his eyes, though. Dude, the dude was, I think he was on the moon, you know, the 500. I think he had a fake moon landing in there.
He was doing a double moonwalk.
He was. Something.
Oh, God. All right.
Central don't have a wrench.
Oh, yeah. I always forget to do that. I got to go back in and give him a wrench. I can't do it during the stream. I will definitely go back in and give JC a wrench. JC's the best. He will absolutely. Yes,
William Watson. I think he is. I think he is. I think he was. I think he was hitting. I think he sniffed an 8-ball before he got in that press conference.
Rover the bear. All hail, beats.
Rover the bear.
Rover's the man. They all call him a bear. Yeah. Chris, can I have a wrench too? Gangrene David, I will go back in after. I will give both you guys wrenches. Absolutely.
Thank you, Afghanistan. Yeah, guys, hit the thumbs up. We got 68 people in here. Hit that thumbs up.
Thank you so much, MYG31. He says, I have a feeling the Giants is going to take Dwayne Haskins. I'm going to do my first mock draft. I'm not going to give anything away, but there's 2 or 3 players I could see them taking as of now before the Combine. If they went quarterback today, the only guy I could see them taking is Dwayne Haskins, in my humble opinion. That could change after the Combine. I don't think Murray fits their offense. That's the only reason why I don't think it's possible.
The thing is, I don't know if Dwayne Haskins will be there. I can see someone trading up to get him.
Yeah. No, well, that's
but the thing is, what is our offense? What is our offense?
Well, our offense is the play-action rollout system. I don't think Murray fits that system. Now, like you said, we could adjust the system for the quarterback, but are they going to want to do that?
Play-action rollout is exactly what Murray's strength is.
No. Well, he's more of a read option play-action. He's not really a guy that goes under center, rolls out with the play. You know what I'm saying? Like we always say,
Eli's never under center.
Well, he was the second half of the year a lot.
Yeah, but in the first half of the year, he was all shotgun.
No, that's fair.
Kyler Murray could go under center. I'm telling you right now, Kyler Murray can throw from the pocket. It's just because he ran for 1,000 yards, everyone thinks,
and then the other resion why I really don't think they will take him is you go back to the quotes that our head coach has said. He prefers a 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" quarterback.
Well, too bad for him. Get a 5'9" quarterback and take that son of a bitch and let's go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people in the chat might want that. You might. I'm just saying what I think. I'm not even saying my preference. It's what I think the Giants are going to do. I really don't think they'll draft him.
They need to. I'm going to call Gettleman up. I'm going to see what I can do.
We'll see.
I just love Kyler Murray. What can I say? No matter where he goes, I'll be rooting for him, just like I root for Baker Mayfield. It'll be the same thing.
He's definitely going to be a guy to root for. He's a fun, a great story.
All I can say is if we don't take him and that dude blows up, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, well, I'm sure a lot of Giants fans.
Bad.
I'm sure. Chuck Sharp says 4 quarterbacks go in the first round. It's possible. It's possible. It's definitely possible.
Locke, Haskins, Murray. They're all going in the first round.
Well, who was the fourth? Obviously, Haskins, Murray, Locke. Who was the fourth?
Will Greer.
Right now, I have Jones above Greer. I would have Daniel Jones fourth.
I don't like Daniel Jones. Yeah. I don't like a guy that completes less than 60% of his passes in a weak ACC. I don't like that low completion percentage in college. You should never have that low of a completion percentage in college. That should not happen.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray completed 70% of his passes. Dwayne Haskins completed 70% of his passes. Most of these guys complete 70%.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you the things I like about Daniel Jones. He plays in a pro-style offense, and he played for a team that didn't have a lot of. They're probably the worst team, or one of the worst teams in the ACC. So every team he played was much better than his surrounding talent. So that's why I don't look too much into the stats. He played in a pro-style offense. The guy who mentored him, his coach, coached 6 NFL quarterbacks, including Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. There's things I like about his game. He's 6'5", 235. He's got a strong, he's got an average arm. But there's things I like about his game. I don't think he's going to be a superstar at the next level. I don't think he has near the ceiling of the Haskins and the Murrays. But I think he could be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Dave Gettleman just said, you're going to like who I take, Baddog. Trust me. You're taking Murray, right, Dave? All right, I got you.
We'll see.
All I can think of, I know Murray's short, but all I can think of, dude, is just how ridiculously explosive our offense would be with that guy at quarterback. Just the ability to do everything. And as I said, if Kyler Murray is 6'1", he's the first overall pick in the draft. Yeah. There's not a doubt in my mind if he was 6'1", he's the first pick in the draft.
I agree with that. Well, I don't know if he's the first. He's the first quarterback taken in the draft. I'll say that.
Somebody would trade up to.
Yeah, I'll say that. But what was I going to ask you? I had a good question there. Oh, okay. So I got a question for you as far as free agency goes. I don't want you to give me specific players because you probably haven't dove into the free agency class yet. But if I gave you $30 to $35 million to spend this year in free agency, which is what I project the Giants are going to have to spend, where would you allocate that money? Where would you put that money towards? What positions?
Right tackle and cornerback.
So because to sign like the guy that I think they're going to sign, I think he's going to cost about $11 to $12 million. So and he's a right tackle. So that's 12 of your 30 there, and then you would allocate another 10 or 12 in cornerback, leaving yourself with about...
That or safety. If Landon Collins doesn't come back, we're going to need a strong safety.
Right. I think they're going to franchise Collins. I'd be shocked.
Yeah. They franchise him and trade him? I can't see Collins coming back here.
I can.
Yeah?
I know. I'm not even a huge fan of him. You know that, but I could see him coming back.
Nah.
I can see him coming back. I think he's too...
There's no reason to time out Dave Gettleman.
Who timed out Dave Gettleman?
Tony Savage. There's no reason to...
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh my gee willikers, Dave Gettleman made a deal. Yeah, don't time out Dave Gettleman. Dave Gettleman's the man. Harden erupts for 61 points tonight? That's crazy.
Jesus. He's scored like 300 points in the last 4 games.
Real New York Giants would be approximately $11 million if they franchise tag Collins, which is what I think they will do. Because I look at it like I don't think they want to make a long-term commitment yet to Collins. He's probably going to cost 15 or 16 if you sign him to like an actual deal per year for 4 years or so. So they're going to look at it like we'll get him for $11 million for 1 year, see how he performs. If he does really well, then we'll give him a long-term commitment.
Right. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Scott Thomas.
Tank for Zion. That's damn right. It's what it's all about with the Knicks. But the Knicks start in tank mode from game one. Well, it's just how it is. We've been tanking for 20 years.
So I got another question for you. You've been a proponent, from what I gather, of cutting Vern, right?
Get him out of here.
So he's due to make, I want to say $19 million. If you cut him, it's
$8 million cap hit.
So
save $11 million.
Now my question is to you: do you think? Because I look at it like this. This is the way I look at it. Because he has to be replaced. You think you could find a more valuable player for $11 million on the open market to play his position? Because that's the difference.
No, it's a good question. Probably not for $11 million, but I mean, Jadeveon Clowney, way better than Olivier Vernon.
Yeah, he's better. He's better, but that's why part of me is like, I don't know if it's worth cutting him. It might be worth just letting him ride out till next year. Then you cut him when he's like a $3 million hit.
Yeah, but so if we take an $8 million cap hit this year and take a $3 million cap hit, you still would want Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, it's going to hurt.
There'll be another guy next year. It's not like Jadeveon Clowney's the be all end all.
Well, no, I know, but
yeah. And then I have the same question for Janoris Jenkins, and I think you're a proponent of cutting.
I definitely want him the hell out of here.
Well, that's my other question. I'm just giving you questions from a GM's perspective. He's due to make 14.75 if you cut him at 7. So then you have to ask yourself, are you going to find a cornerback as good as Jenkins for under $8 million on the open market? And
I think you can find somebody near as good as him. Because, again, he's a 3.5 cap next year. So it's $18 million we save over the next 2 years. I don't like Janoris Jenkins. I think he has regressed horribly. It's not even the fact, he can't cover the way he used to. And that's one thing. But watching this guy try to tackle...
Oh, he's not a good tackler.
It pisses me off. I mean, he makes me mad because there's no effort.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that. Okay, I understand cornerbacks are going to get burned. It's part of the game. It's hard to play defense. But you can tackle.
Right. He
doesn't tackle. And that infuriates me more than anything else. It's lack of effort to me. Yeah. He's just like, arm tackle. Throw your body in there.
I just look at it like, I don't know if you can cut both. Maybe you cut one, but I look at it like if you save that. So you're gonna save about, what, $18 million if you cut those two. So say we had 30 to 35, now you got about 50. But now you got to fill in those two positions. So I don't know if you're going to be able to build as good of a roster for next year's team if you cut those two players.
Well, you don't need to cut them both. But
yeah.
But also, I mean, what are we doing with Eli? That's $17.5 million.
They're not cutting Eli. I think we both know that. They're not going to cut him. He's either going to retire or he's going to be on the team.
But if
he might take a cut. He might take a pay cut.
If he retires, you still save the money.
Yeah, well, no, but yeah, I don't think he's going to retire. But I would say that's possible. We're not going to cut him.
They're not cutting. There's no way they'd cut him. And I wouldn't want them to cut him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because again, if they were going to cut him, they're going to go to him and say, "Listen, we want you to retire."
Right.
You don't want to end his career by saying you're gone.
Right.
But at the same time, say we draft Dwayne Haskins, and Eli comes back. As soon as Eli Manning, and it doesn't matter if it's Haskins, Locke, Murray. If we draft a quarterback 6th, as soon as Eli Manning throws that first interception, gets sacked on 3rd. You know the fans are going to be screaming for whoever the hell that quarterback is. Do you want Eli Manning to go out his career like that? Because as soon as he plays, everyone's going to want that young quarterback. Everyone's going to scream, get him out of here. Let's see what the young guy can do.
Yeah, it's a very tough decision. And I think the better person to ask is not us. It's not Gettleman. It's Eli himself. Because Eli's the one that's going to have to go through that. So Eli has to ask himself, is it worth it for me to come back? I have enough money already. I've won my Super Bowls. If they take a quarterback, which we don't know if they're going to yet, but Eli has to ask himself, if they're going to take a quarterback, is it worth? Because we know half the fan base. We're on YouTube all the time. We do live streams. We talk to these people.
Yep.
If Eli Manning sneezes the wrong way, half the people in my chat are killing him. So we know that half the fan base, one incomplete pass, they're going to be calling for Haskins. It doesn't even need to be a pick. It could be a pass off of Saquon Barkley's hands. They're going to be calling for Eli to be benched. And he's going to have to deal with that.
Right.
And it's a very tough position to put Eli in. I will completely agree with that.
That's what I worry. Not that I worry about Eli Manning being, feeling pressure, because he doesn't feel pressure. I know that.
Right.
The pressure does not get to Eli Manning.
Right.
Well, the defensive pressure gets to him because our line gives it up, and he gets pressured there. But I'm saying he doesn't feel like, oh, my God, this is overwhelming. Nothing's going to overwhelm Eli. But if we draft a quarterback he's not playing the whole year. He won't. He's not making 16 games if we draft a rookie quarterback.
Let me ask you this. Hypothetical. Say we take Haskins, and the Giants start 6-2. Eli's playing good. How could you bench him?
You don't.
Yeah, so it is possible. It's just not likely.
Right, but, we were 6-2 in 2004, and they benched Kurt Warner.
Were we 6? I thought we were 5-3. We were 6-2.
Maybe we were 5-3, but regardless, 5-3. We're 5.
No, you're right. It's a fair point. I don't at 6. I agree with you. If we take Haskins, it's much more likely than not Eli doesn't finish the season as the starter. It's possible, but it's much more likely than not he doesn't. And if I was Eli Manning, me personally as a competitor, if they put me in that situation, if I still wanted to play, I would actually try to get traded. I would say put me on a team where I can compete, where I know I'm going to be the starter. But I get one. It's also a prideful thing, though, that he probably wants to start and end his career with the same team. Not a lot of players can say that, to play as long as he did. So I get that, too. It's a tough situation.
It is. That's why it'll be very interesting. Everything will be very interesting for the Giants because this is the first time in a decade and a half where we're looking at taking a quarterback in the first round. This is the first time we're looking at getting another franchise quarterback in 15 years. So there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of anticipation of what the hell we're going to do in the draft. But again, I think Dave Gettleman did such a good job this year. And we have so many holes that if he takes any 3 of those Williams guys, the Jonah, the Quinnen, the Greedy, if he takes any of them, if Josh Allen ever fell to us, if we traded up and got Josh Allen, if we take Dwayne Haskins, if we take Kyler Murray, we need all those guys. So, and like I said, unless he took a wide receiver, which he's not going to do, or he traded for Josh Rosen, which he's not going to do. Those are the only 2 things that would really tick me off. But if he went right tackle, not going to hurt me. If he went pass rusher, not going to hurt me. If he went cornerback, not going to hurt. If he went quarterback, not going to hurt. There's a lot of holes here.
Now let me ask you this, and I based on what you just told me, I know it's not going to upset you. It's not going to upset some Giant fans. But if the Giants don't take a quarterback in this draft, how pissed off do you think at least half the fan base is going to be. They are going to be screaming.
Oh yeah, they definitely will because they
just half the fan base just sees it, and me and you both agree that Eli Manning is part of the problem, but half the fan base sees it as he is the only problem, and you know what I'm saying? Right. They just think if you take a quarterback, everything's going to magically work, and that's not the way it works. And I know that half the fan base, if they don't take a quarterback in this draft, they're not going to care who we take. We could get Bosa with the 6th overall pick. They wouldn't care. They want a quarterback no matter what.
Yeah.
And Gettleman's going to feel that pressure. But the thing is, we know off of last year's draft, Gettleman doesn't give a damn. He's going to take whoever he wants to take with his pick. If he doesn't like a quarterback, he's not going to let the fans dictate his pick.
Right. And he shouldn't.
Yeah.
He shouldn't let the fans dictate his pick. I feel like, well, although I feel like, there's all that talk about, whatchamacallit, too, Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham's not going anywhere. This is just all media crap. Dave Gettleman even said we didn't sign him to trade him. He's not going anywhere. Yeah. But that's another thing. If they traded Odell Beckham, that wouldn't bother me either.
Yeah, I mean, he's a problem. He's part of he's one of this team has 3 major problems, and I look at them all as equal problems. I don't think Eli's a bigger problem than the offensive line. I don't think Eli's a bigger problem than the defense. Their pass rush is non-existent. It's just, I would argue that the pass rush is a bigger problem than Eli Manning. I think the pass rush is awful. We saw the team fall apart game after game after game down the stretch. If they had a good defense, we could win 10 games with Eli Manning. I don't think you doubt that. If we had a good defense, we could win 10 games with Eli Manning. I think we could. We just saw Blake Bortles win 10 games with a good defense.
Right. No, I don't doubt it. We were the highest scoring team in our division.
Yeah.
We moved 4 games in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, I'm not saying Eli Manning's not a problem. I want everybody in the chat to know I realize the guy is not what he used to be. But there's a lot of problems to this team. So I'm going to be completely fine if Gettleman says none of these quarterbacks fit the bill. We'll wait another year. I like Haskins. I've been on record as saying that. I will be happy if the Giants take Haskins number 6 overall. But if he decides that he likes another player more, there's a lot of talented defensive players in this draft. I'm not going to be screaming at the top of my lungs like I know half the Giants fans are going to be.
Yeah, it's not going to bother me either. Because unless we talk about this, unless you are 1,000% sold on a quarterback, you don't take a quarterback top 10 just to take a quarterback top 10. You don't do that.
Right.
Now, if the Giants decide we're going to trade back and stockpile some picks and take Drew Lock 18th or Will Greer 31st or whatever. I mean, I don't know who the hell they trade, but you know what I'm saying. If we decide they want Will Greer 29th overall, it's a different story. But you don't take a quarterback 6th overall just to take a quarterback. You need to be like I said, this is our guy for the next 10 to 15 years.
Because let me ask Giant fans this. I know your answer. What would you rather? If you hate Eli that much, what would you rather? Suffer with Eli for one more year? Because this is Eli's last year no matter what. Suffer for the people that hate him. Suffer with Eli for one more year, or be wrong with the 6th overall pick and suffer with whoever they take for 5 years. Because that's what it comes down to. Are you willing to sacrifice one more year of having to watch Eli Manning if they don't believe in a quarterback, or you want them to just take a quarterback to take a quarterback? That's what you have to ask yourself. Because if they just take a quarterback because it's a need and they don't believe in Dwayne Haskins and he's wrong, you're gonna be screaming at the top of your lungs for 5 years that they shouldn't have taken him. Right.
The problem is, if you look at the draft in 2020, and again, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but who the hell's there? Tua's not good. Listen, I don't want to draft 4th overall. Okay, I want to win. So if we're 8-8 and we're picking 16th,
right?
You're not getting Tua.
Right.
You're not getting Herbert. What are you getting, Jake Fromm? I don't want Jake Fromm.
Right.
I mean, in order to get a good quarterback in 2020, you're going to have to draft in the top 10 again.
Right.
So I mean, this is the problem we're running into, man. It's who the hell is it? I mean,
but the thing is, I don't want to waste any more picks. I don't want to. Last year we wasted a pick on Loletta. We could have used that pick to get a guy on defense. We could have used that pick to bolster the offensive line. I don't want them just taking project quarterbacks, the guys that could work out if everything works out rosy and beautiful. No, when they take that quarterback, I want him to be the guy from day one. They know this guy's the guy. We can't afford to be wasting picks on backup quarterbacks.
Yeah. Manny Roman says Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I wish. Trevor Lawrence is 2021, and we'd have to pick first overall to get Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence should go first overall. If he plays the way he did this year, the next 2 years at Clemson, he's going to be first overall. That's the problem with the quarterbacks is if you want a good one, you have to have a really crappy freaking season in order to get a good one. And I'm sick of losing. Right. I'm sick of it. The last 6 out of the last 7 years you had a losing record. I've had it with that. I want to win. The hell with this tanking crap. I want to win games.
I don't think they tanked this year. I just think that I think I think it was a lot. And somebody said to read the chat. We're trying to read the chat as much as we can. We also got to talk to each other, so it's a tough balance. But what was I going to say? I think this year was a lot of factors. I think you had 2 new systems, which I didn't take it enough into account. That it takes time to learn new systems. They transferred from a 4-3 to a 3-4. They played a bear of a schedule. I mean, their schedule was brutal the first 8 weeks of the season. So I think there were factors as to why I don't think we're as bad as our record. I really don't. I think we're a better team than we showed this year. I really do. I would be surprised with the schedule we have, with the players we have on our roster, with how well I think we'll draft in this draft. I would be surprised if we finish with less than 8 wins, unless we have a ton of injuries next year, if Eli Manning was our quarterback. I would be surprised.
I can see us. Yeah, I mean, again, if the defense in boys games, we win 9 games.
Yeah.
And again, the Bills, we should beat them. The Jets, we should beat them. The Dolphins, we should beat them. Like, I feel we're better than all 3 of those teams. The Patriots, we're not better than. But those 3 teams, I feel like we're better than. And then we play the NFC North, right? We should beat the Lions.
Could beat them, but the Packers we could easily beat. They're not a good team right now.
The Vikings, we should be able to beat them. We've always beat Kirk Cousins. Then who else we play? We play the Niners. Is that right?
I don't even know.
They were second last?
Yeah, so we must play the Niners, yeah.
And then who was second last in the NFC South? Bucks or the Panthers? Bucks. Or Panthers. The Panthers, right? No, Panthers are 6-10?
Well, no, the Giants finished last in the division.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Yeah, so
so we're playing the Cardinals.
And the Bucks.
We should be both of them.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants have a pretty... I mean, you can't really judge a schedule until the season starts. But going in right now, I would be surprised if we win less than 8 games, unless we have catastrophic injuries.
Right.
You know, unless we take a rookie quarterback. If we draft a rookie quarterback, you throw that out the window. But
Anthony Machuca sent you a super chat there.
Oh my God, I missed it.
It went past the screen. I just saw it.
Oh, what did it say? I can't go back.
It just says I trust Gettleman. $3.99. I trust Gettleman.
Thank you so much, Anthony Machuca. Anthony Machuca, of course, sub number 350. I always say it. Thank you so much, Anthony Machuca. And I know you love Gettleman, and I love We both love Gettleman.
Yes, we do.
We absolutely love his strategy because he is about what football should be. He's not about the pretty, wide receiver and the running back. He's about building the offensive and defensive line, and that's really what wins football games. It
is. You win in the trenches. Yeah. It's how we've always won. It really is. I mean, Giants can beat the Patriots, muchacho. We'll see. I'm not willing to say we're beating a team that's in the Super Bowl.
Dave Gettleman says we love you too, guys. We love you, Dave. We love you, Dave. William Watson, I'll say this. He would be much more exciting than Eli Manning. He would add a different element to the offense. But there's no way you can say his rookie year that you could guarantee he would be better than Eli Manning. And as much as people bash Eli Manning still knows this offense. He still has some kind of, he's thrown to these wide receivers before. He knows the offense. He knows how to read defenses. Kyler Murray's played in a college-style offense. It's going to take time for him to learn the pro. Even Baddog would tell you that. It's going to take time for him to learn to play in the pros. It's not going to just happen like that.
Yeah, the speed of the NFL is so much faster than college. I mean, that is the biggest adjustment for college quarterbacks to make because the throws they make over the linebackers in college are nothing. The speed of linebackers in the NFL are ridiculous. I always feel like that's where the college quarterback needs to understand the closing speed of the linebackers or the cornerbacks. It's a much different speed. I think that's always their toughest adjustment is to the speed of the game. And the fact that defenses are much more complex.
Yeah. And then the other thing I would say is somebody to probably contradict what I would say because he played for the same team would probably say, well, Baker did it. But Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, is not just a better quarterback. He had much more experience. He was a senior. This guy only played 1 full season as a starter. So to me, Baker Mayfield had more experience. It's just two different elements. I just feel like it would take him. That's not a knock on him. That's most quarterbacks that start in the NFL. You look at all the rookies this year. Josh Rosen didn't play well. I mean, all of them, other than Baker Mayfield, did not play well. So it takes time. Anybody who just expects this kid to come in and flourish and make the offense beautiful, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. They usually don't. The only guy I can think of that really was recently, Griffin.
Yeah.
And again, Kyler Murray is that type of guy.
But one thing I will say, Griffin was almost ahead of the curve. Like, he was before those types of quarterbacks were prevalent in the NFL.
Yeah, now he brought that.
Now defenses are more prepared for that type of quarterback.
You can't prepare. You can't prepare
for it, but you know what I mean. Like it was almost like something they had never seen. I know Michael Vick was in the league, but it was a different. He was a read option. It was just completely different. And the defenses have adjusted to defend that. I'm not saying they're gonna be able to stop Kyler Murray, but defenses are more prepared for that type of quarterback in today's NFL.
Yeah, well, that and again the weapons around what Kyler Murray could do with Saquon. Like I said, the thing that I think about when I think of Kyler Murray is just his ability to escape the pocket, his ability to escape the pass rush, and the ability to extend plays, and having a guy like Shepard and Beckham run free down the Evan Ingram. And that's why I'm so hung up on Kyler Murray. Well, I'm a Sooner fan, but just thinking of him being able to make that play with his feet, where when he gets outside the pocket, like I said, the linebacker's screwed. Linebacker's gonna. What do I do? Do I stay with my receiver? Do I go up to stop Kyler? If Kyler Murray gets outside the pocket, it really puts tons of pressure on the defense.
Oh, it definitely does. I mean,
that's why I love the guy so much.
That's his strength. I mean, when he gets out in the pocket, I mean, yeah, it's a death wish. That's his strength. It also could be his death.
Definitely should not have taken Sam Darnold. I see that comment all the time. Sam Darnold would have gotten murdered with the Giants. Murdered. No running back. He would have been handing the ball off to Wayne Gallman, number one. Had no line, number two. And, again, being a rookie quarter, and he wouldn't have started anyway. He would have never started this year. Would have been Eli the whole year.
Right.
Because if Lennon didn't play...
Well, that's the same thing I could say about if we took a quarterback this year, if Eli was still on the roster. You know what I'm saying? That's why... And William Watson says we're talking about winning games in 2019, but that means we won't draft this high in 2019. Draft the quarterback. William Watson, I agree with you. If they like the quarterback, I agree that you take a quarterback because you don't know. That is a great point. You don't, and what Baddog said too. You both said it. It is a great point. You don't know where we're going to be picking next year. We have a gift right now. We have the 6th overall pick, and we're the first team that is in need of a quarterback that's drafting this year. The 5 teams ahead of us are not taking a quarterback. The only way somebody takes the quarterback we want is if they jump us in a trade. And so it is an opportunity, but you don't just take a quarterback to take a quarterback.
Right. Yeah. Spermcell says, I feel like Baddog underestimates the importance of size and strength because that's not important to me. If that was that important, Kyler Murray would have failed in college. He would have failed in high school. He was 42-0 in high school. The kid never lost a freaking game in high school.
Yeah.
And he's a super athlete. And Russell Wilson's a smaller guy. And Drew Brees is a smaller guy. And Baker Mayfield is a smaller guy. No, they're not 5'9". So Russell Wilson's 5'10.5". So is an inch and a half make that big of a difference?
But when do we draw the line? Because at some point it's going to be too small to play the position.
Okay, you're 5'6".
What's the cutoff? I mean, we keep going down and down.
If Kyler Murray was not mobile, he's too small to play.
He'd be dead.
That's my point.
But that's what scares me.
Doesn't matter.
But that's what scares me about him. I don't have any doubts that he's going to be able to make plays outside of the pocket. He's going to put fear in defenses. If he has an injury like RG3 did, he's useless. He is useless. He will never be a good quarterback in the NFL. Where if a guy like Andrew Luck sustains an injury like that, he could come back.
Yeah, but you can't draft the quarterback going, oh, God, he might get injured. Because like I said, Carson Wentz 6'5", 237, injured the last 2 years. Cam Newton 6'5", 245. Now, I know they played a lot. Well, Wentz hasn't played that long. Wentz has been in the league, 3 years?
But my argument for those two quarterbacks is they're more capable of playing in the pocket. So if they come back from an injury and don't have the same mobility they once had, I think they could still succeed in the NFL. If Kyler Murray loses that mobility, he's done. He's like RG3. He is finished.
I don't think he'd lose that mobility anyway. I don't think so.
I just look at RG3. RG3 lost it.
Well, that's because he tore his ACL. But again, you can't draft Kyler Murray going, oh, my God, what if he tears his ACL?
Yeah.
You don't think about that.
Yeah.
You just have to say we plan on the guy being. You draft the guy planning on him being healthy.
Yeah. Well, of course.
And again, guys that haven't watched Kyler Murray play, go back and look at the tape and watch how many throws from the pocket he makes.
Yeah. Well, everything that I've read, they say he's very good at finding the gaps in the offensive line. But it's different. Most of his throws, I think, in the NFL, or at least half of them, are going to be from outside the pocket. I think he's going to have to move outside.
Sure, they will, and that's going to be the game plan.
But that is where a quarterback is more. There's a higher probability he will get injured playing that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If he's running, obviously, because he's going to take more hits. But again, he doesn't need to run. I mean, that's the whole thing. He can. Yeah. But again, he threw 42 touchdowns, so it's not like he'd be
fun. He'd be fun to watch. I get why people want him. He would light up the league. He'd be the funnest quarterback to watch in football. I get it. He's just not my type of quarterback. Everybody has their own preferences.
Yeah. Detonator says Kyler Murray get crushed for a sack. You don't think he ever got sacked in college? He never took a hit in college?
Who are we talking about?
Kyler Murray. Detonator said Kyler Murray will get crushed his first sack. He didn't get sacked in college? The linemen in college, what, are they all my size? They're all 6 foot, 200 pounds? There's no 6'5", 300-pound guys in college. He gets hit. He's taking hits. But again, as I said, the thing with Kyler Murray, when you have that low of a center of gravity, it's hard to get a square shot in a guy unless you hit him from behind.
Right.
Then any quarterback can get blindsided. They're getting lit up. I don't care if they're 5'9" or 6'9".
Right.
That doesn't matter. But he got hit. People act like he's never got hit in college. People act like he's never gotten sacked. I mean, that's the whole thing. Oh, he's going to get hit. He's going to die. Right. Why?
Right.
Why?
No, I'm not saying he's going to die. I just think he's a much more risky pick than a guy like if you take him, you must be absolutely in love with him because nobody can deny he carries a bigger risk than a 6'5", 6'4" pocket passer. In terms of injury, in terms of the fact that nobody's ever succeeded at his height in the history of the league. Ever.
Has anybody played at his height?
Doug Flutie.
Well, Doug Flutie's not nearly the same quarterback as Kyler Murray. Not even close.
I'm just saying. But no, you're right. I mean, not to my knowledge, and if they haven't gotten an opportunity to start, at least on a consistent basis. No, but I'm just saying, there are ifs with him. As much as people want to say they love him, and there's ifs with every quarterback. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I'm in love with him. Let's take him.
There you go, Gettleman. I hope you're listening. Take him. Take him, Gettleman.
Watch, after all this, Chris, you won't even take a quarterback. It'll be interesting. And again, like you said, Combine's is going to tell us everything. We can do this all the way up till the Combine. Yeah. We can sit here and change quarterbacks and change mock drafts and everything. And once the Combine hits, then we'll have a much better.
And who knows? Drew Lock might come and shock us. He might come and he might blow up the Combine, and then he might be the quarterback everyone's in love with. I mean, we don't know. Everything is speculation right now.
Yeah. Everybody I do. Philly 500's in the house. Everybody do.
I was in Philly 500 stream today. Unbelievable job, by the way. And if you haven't done so, please sub up Philly 500. Again, anybody new to my channel that has not watched this show before, link in the description. Please sub up MrBaddog. Link in the description. Sub him up. But I was in Philly 500 stream today. He gave me a little preview of my song. It sounds beautiful.
Oh, did he? Damn, I missed the preview. Because I was in BVD stream because I had to visit my man BVD. But yeah, Philly 500 was just texting me nonsense yesterday out of the blue, and I was crying laughing. Yeah, out of nowhere, just get hashtag fake moon landing. Yeah. And I forgot what else he said. Flat Earth.
All right, guys, we are going to take our questions from the chat now, so shout them out. We're going to go for about 20, 25 minutes. Shout out the questions, rapid fire questions. Go ahead. Figure there's going to be a little delay, so they'll probably come in a minute.
William Watson said Murray's actually 5'9", 7/8 tall and 194 pounds. Well, they said at the Combine you're going to get his real measurements too.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oklahoma said supposedly the measure he's 5'10".
Ogletree or Vernon. I don't like either one. I think Ogletree, if you look at PFF, he was the second worst graded player on the Giants. They said he was awful in coverage, horrible against the run. He fell on some interceptions, but I don't think Ogletree is a very good linebacker. I actually prefer Vernon to Ogletree. I think Vernon's a better player than Ogletree.
You know what's funny? When we got Ogletree, I was so excited. Yeah. I said, "Man, this guy can play." But again, how much does that have to do with the change in system?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
You
true.
know, I mean,
That's true.
let's give him another year and see what he does. Because I don't know. Did the Rams play a 3-4 last year? Do the Rams play a 3-4?
No, they play a 4-3 because they've got Donald and Sue in the middle.
So, I mean, Ogletree probably never played in a 3-4. So I think we got to give him another year.
Yeah, I'm not a big Ogletree fan. I know he had a couple of nice plays, but not a big Ogletree fan. If the Giants never get a good quarterback and Darnold becomes great, will you finally admit Barkley over Donald was a blunder?
Hell no.
Well, West Coast, this is why I don't even think we need to draft a good quarterback for him to be good, and I'm going to explain that. With the pieces the Giants have in place, with Barkley, with Beckham, if you fix the O-line, you could put a mediocre quarterback back there, and he's going to play good. So that's why I don't. Everybody likes to just look at the quarterback. Everybody always says the quarterback does everything. It's nonsense. A lot of quarterbacks who have had success in this league, Aikman had success in this league because of his foundation. There's no doubt about it. And there's a lot of quarterbacks like that had success because of the pieces around him. So my answer to that is, if the Giants build the way they should, if they build the O-line with Barkley and Beckham in place, you could draft an average quarterback and he's going to play great.
My answer to that is I bet you the Giants outscored the Jets last year.
Well, you're not a Darnold guy. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying the Giants outscored everyone in our division. We were the highest scoring team in the NFC East with Eli Manning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how was that a mistake?
Yeah.
Barkley had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, Barkley.
And this is with Beckham being hurt the last 4 games.
Barkley's was one of the 5 best players in the league this year.
Yeah.
That's how good he was.
I saw when I wanted to. Where was it?
But in big games, I missed it. But in big games, the quarterback wins. In big games, the quarterback does win. But I look at it like this: look at the Broncos. Both years that Elway won his Super Bowl, Elway got all the credit. We both know who really won those Super Bowls. It was Terrell Davis. It was that offensive line. And it was that defense.
The second one was Elway.
Well, Elway played great in the second. But yeah, because Terrell Davis. But Terrell Davis certainly helped him. Marshall Faulk certainly helped that Rams offense. There are certain running backs that make quarterbacks look a lot better than what they really are.
I was gonna say Elway lost 3 Super Bowls with no running back.
Yeah.
When your running backs are Gerald Wilhite and he did have Ernest Biner in '87, but Biner fumbled it, and obviously that was a big thing. And then Bobby Humphrey was okay, but Elway never had defense or Terrell Davis.
And I'm going to give you another name, Dan Marino. Dan Marino might be the most gifted quarterback to ever play the sport, and they didn't give him a running back. They didn't give him wide receivers. They didn't give him pieces, and he didn't win.
Well, he had wide receivers with Duper and Clayton,
yeah.
and no defense, and he had no running back.
Yeah, and when you don't have that, everybody just likes to think if you get a quarterback, you're going to automatically win. That's not the way football works. You
need to run, because if you don't run, you're one-dimensional, and defenses can tee off on you for one-dimensional. We talked about this before. You look at every team in the playoffs, except for the Eagles, they all had a great running back.
Right.
They all ran. The Rams, Gurley. The Saints, Kamara and Ingram. The Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott. The Bears, Cohen and Howard.
The Seahawks ran for the most yards in football with their 3 running backs.
The Patriots are assuming was showing James White. Now, they may not run, but they do a lot of other things with the running backs. The Chiefs, Kareem Hunt most of the year, but Damian Williams and Spencer Ware both can play.
Yeah.
So, everyone, Chargers, Josh Gordon. Melvin Gordon.
Steelers for all their years of success, Le'Veon Bell.
They all run.
Yeah.
Every one of these successful teams runs the ball.
And by the way, go back and look at Ben Roethlisberger's stats. They were starting to slide before they got Le'Veon Bell. They get Le'Veon Bell, all of a sudden Ben Roethlisberger's a Pro Bowler again. So there's more to it than just having a guy that can throw a football. You need a lot. You need a whole offense. You need an O-line. You need a running game. And the Giants now need to find a quarterback. They don't need a guy. They don't need Aaron Rodgers. They need a guy to come in here that doesn't make mistakes, that makes big plays in big spots. But they don't need a guy to throw for 5,000 yards. That's not how you win in football.
Thank you guys for blessing me. Who wins your offense rookie of the year? Come on, Barkley's offense rookie of the year.
Eli won without Tiki. He did, but he did win without Tiki. But that Giants offense, they ran the hell out of the ball. They had the 3-headed monster. They had Derek Ward, they had Brandon Jacobs, and they had Ahmad Bradshaw. they run the ball more than anybody. The second time, not so much. But that first Super Bowl team, they run the hell out of the ball.
Yeah, Eli won without Tiki because, again, in 2008, they had 2 1,000-yard rushers. They averaged over 5 yards a carry as a team.
Yeah.
They averaged over 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
They ran the ball. And there were, like I said, there was 2 1,000-yard backs. So, Tiki Barber, I mean, sometimes it's chemistry, man. Tiki Barber hurt the chemistry.
Yeah, and that O-line was fantastic.
Yeah. Yes, Barkley over Baker, absolutely.
What do I think of Wayne Gallman? I think Wayne Gallman needs to be used more next year. I actually think they underutilize Gallman a little bit. I think he's a pretty good running back, and I think he should get maybe 3 or 4 more carries a game to spell Barkley a little bit. I actually like Gallman a lot as a backup running back. I don't think they used him enough this year, to be honest.
I like Gallman, too. I think Gallman's serviceable as a backup running back. I think Gallman should be, a lot of teams will do, they'll, like every third series, they play a different back. Like, that's what they should do. They should play Barkley the first 2 series, then Wayne Gallman. Barkley 2 series, then Wayne Gallman. Like, Gallman should play every third series.
Yeah.
Unless the game is coming down to the,
of course,
the wire of the game, and you need Barkley in there. But first quarter, spell Barkley a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of putting him in there, they put him in there and they spell him because let's only run him 4 times in this half.
But there were games where Gallman would only get 2-3 carries. I thought they underused him a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey Chris, who do you think the Giants should sign at quarterback? I don't think they should sign anybody. I wouldn't sign a free agent in this class. The only way I would sign a free agent is if Eli retired. Then obviously you have to. Because I wouldn't just throw a rookie quarterback to the Wolves. And the guy that I would sign is what I said in my video. I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick, as much as people might laugh, would be a perfect fill-in quarterback if Eli had retired. Because he's played here before. He has experience in the NFL. I think he'd be a good guy to learn from. So if Eli were to retire, I think Fitzpatrick would be the guy to sign. Well,
okay, Baker Mayfield threw 27 touchdown passes. Well, Saquon Barkley had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. No rookie's ever done that in the NFL.
Yeah.
No rookie ever had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Saquon Barkley had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, was second in the league in yards per carry to Phil.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
He set the receiving record for
most catches ever by a rookie running back. He had the most scrimmage yards in the league. He had the most carries for over 20 yards. He's one of only 7. I looked this up because I'm doing a preview video on him soon. He's one of only 7 running backs since 1990 to have 7 carries or more for 40 yards or longer in a season, which is insane.
Yeah.
The guy's ridiculous. And this was all with a subpar offensive line.
Right. So, I mean, Mayfield had a great year, and I love Baker Mayfield. I'm a Sooners guy. I love Baker. He's not offensive rookie of the year over Saquon Barkley. He's just not. And Saquon Barkley had a horrible offensive line to boot.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And he did this stuff. Can you imagine if he had the Cowboys' offensive line?
It's ridiculous.
Oh, my God. He'd have 2,800 yards per scrimmage.
Well, I think he's going to be even better next year. How do you feel about the Giants 20... yeah, Patrick, we talked about that a little bit earlier, but we'll go over it again. I mean, they're playing the AFC East. I think at worst you're going 2-2 in that 4-game stretch. I think they got a very good chance to go 3-1. And then they're playing the NFC North, which I think it's fair to say they'll go at least 2-2 in those 4 games, and they could go 3-1. So we'll say they go 5-3 in those 8 games. Let's say that. Is that fair to say, Baddog?
I think they should.
5-3 in those 8 games, and let's say they could split in the division next year. I don't think that's far-fetched. Say they go 3-3 in the division.
And make them 8-6, and then they should beat the Cardinals and Bucks.
And if you could beat the Cardinals and Bucks, you could get to 10-6. I think the Giants should win between 8 and 10 games next year, and I don't think that's crazy to think that.
Yeah. Well, okay, so maybe I see Eric Dickerson had 2,212 yards as a rookie. Okay.
I don't mean to interrupt you. West Coast is saying I'm overselling how bad the Giants' offensive line is. The second half, they weren't that bad. The first half, that Giants' offensive line was the worst in the sport, and I'm not underselling that. That offensive line was pitiful the first half of the season.
The Jets are not going 11-5 next year. Not happening. You got a first-year head coach in there, or his first year at the Jets. You're not 2 or 3 players away from going 11-5. You play against the Patriots, they're going to beat you twice. You're playing the NFC East. You're not beating Dallas. You're not beating Philly. You might be Washington if they're injured, but I don't know the Jets.
Well, I'm going to be fair here. I can't say how I think the Jets are going to do till after free agency because they have more money to spend than anyone. So they could really improve their team this offseason. They really could.
But you know as well as I do, you don't win with free agents. You don't build a free agent.
Yeah, you don't.
No. They cover some holes for a second, and then they're gone. We know.
We saw with our Giants, and how about that year where the Eagles spent more money than God when they called them the Dream Team, whatever.
Yeah, and they won 4 games.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
It doesn't work like because you're bringing a bunch of players in from different systems that have to learn a new system.
Yeah. You don't win championships in the offseason. They have the best worst blank in the sport, entertainer. I guess that's what I say a lot. One more time, G-Men Dog. How about C.J. Mosley? Alan wants to know. What do you think of C.J. Mosley?
I loved him in Alabama, and there was another guy I wanted the Giants to draft. But I just think. Where are we? Who are we getting rid of? You're not getting rid of Lorenzo Carter.
No.
How much of a cap hit is Ogletree if we dump him?
Ogletree is you would save I think $7 million. I think he's a $5 million hit, but I could be wrong. He might be a $6 million hit. He's going to cost 12. I know that.
So maybe they dump him and go after C.J. Mosley. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure where we would put him, but if we could dump Ogletree and get C.J. Mosley, I'd be perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, so would I, to be honest. And G-Man49 says Ogletree, yeah.
Well, they're not going to get rid of B.J. Goodson, Donald, because he doesn't cost a thing. He costs nothing.
14 says, and we've talked about this many times, 14, should the Giants trade OBJ for the second?
If they could.
If they could in a second.
Get Josh Allen? Oh, my God. But Josh Allen a quarterback in the same draft?
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but if they could, yeah. They spent more money than God. Everybody always quotes me. Chris, would I take Justin Fields over Cut? No. No, I would not. No. What about you, Baddog? You're the wrong guy to ask.
There's not a quarterback in college right now except for Trevor Lawrence that I would take over Kyler Murray. Not even Tua, because you want to talk about Tua, and I get this from Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou says this about Tua. He said, "You want to talk about a guy that won't last in the NFL? He will not last. He's soft. Every time he gets hit, the dude's in the tent. Every time he's in the tent. He's getting looked at something.
Yeah.
He's always nicked up.
Yeah.
So if he's playing on the best freaking team, in football.
Well, that's the knock on Tua. He has the best team in football to play with. That's the knock on him. But he is a good quarterback, I think. But
he is. He is.
Trevor Lawrence to me is by far the best.
Yes, he is.
Who wins the championship first?
The Giants.
Probably. I don't know. We'll see.
I think the Jets will win one before the Knicks.
Probably. History would say the Knicks. I'm just holding out hope because I think the Knicks have a lot of cap space. Entertainer, will you be streaming the conference game? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the Pro Bowl? I don't know what you're talking about. Dog, watch for Tua's brother next year. Alan Weston says.
All right, I'll watch for his brother. But he's going Tua the injury tent. Yes, exactly.
West Coast, I'm going to say no to that. That was an awful injury. Ryan Shazier, would you play again if you were him?
No, God, no.
Yeah.
No.
That was worse than Peyton Manning's injury, the spinal thing, right?
Yeah. That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, so you mean the Pro Bowl camera? A couple people asked me to stream. It is literally a meaningless game. I think Bavit asked me to do that too. I said I may do like a call-in show during it. If people really want me to do it, I might do it for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
When the hell is that?
It's this Sunday, I think.
Well, doing the next game Sunday.
Yeah, it's more meaningful than the Pro Bowl. Yeah, I might do like a call-in show for and say I'm streaming the Pro Bowl and maybe like do a play-by-play every now and again, but just talk to you guys because it's literally a nonsense game.
It is. Oh, I can definitely stream Seinfeld, Jedi. I know Seinfeld word for word pretty much.
Chris, you guys hear about the Saints fans suing over Road Dogg? I did not hear about that.
I heard about that.
They're suing the NFL?
Yeah. What the hell's the point of it? You're not going to win nothing.
Yeah. Detonator says the Pro Bowl is awesome. I don't think it is. It's basically tag football.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Where's Carmelo going, young flexers? Who knows? Bulls already waived him, so who the hell knows where he's going?
Philly 500 says, I think all content creators should team up and grow the ugliest mustaches that we can.
I could grow one in about a week.
I could probably grow one in about 10 days.
I would like to grow one and have that nice beeswax thing going on with
the curls.
Yeah,
that would look cool.
Yeah, I like the old Mike King Kelly stuff like that. Just that thick.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work though.
Except for I really have to shave where I work. I could never grow one of those, man.
Let's see what we got here. Mustard. What happened with Mustard Bus? Did I miss him? I'm sorry. Somebody yelled Mustard Bus.
Yeah. Did he come back?
Yeah, Russell Johnson. We talked about that earlier too. The age difference between the coaches and the quarterbacks. We do think that could play a big factor in the game.
Yeah, absolutely, a huge factor.
Yeah.
Huge. And that's why I like the Patriots over the Chiefs, because I just like Belichick over Andy Reid.
And somebody asked, Patrick Philippe asked, how do we feel about Le'Veon Bell? I'll answer that first. I think Le'Veon Bell, like if I was the Jets fan, you're probably going to have to sign him a 4 or 5 year deal. I think Le'Veon Bell is going to be very similar to Amari Stoudemire was for the Knicks, in my opinion. I think for the first 2 years of that contract, he's going to live up to it. He's going to play very well. But I think the pounding he took in Pittsburgh, I mean, they ran that guy into the ground. I see him falling apart for the last 2 or 3 years of that contract.
Yeah, he has a lot of miles on his legs. A lot. Because not only did he run the ball a lot, he caught the ball a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of miles.
So I honestly don't think it's a good idea to sign him. I mean, short term it is. But long term, I think they're going to pay for it. Yeah,
that's a good point. I mean, team that wants him probably is that guy away from winning the Super Bowl. Because like you said, at the end of his contract, he's probably going to be kind of like Eddie George. I mean, Eddie George is a guy that was amazing, and he just so many miles, so many hits. You know, and he was a bigger guy. So, but it'll be interesting to see what Le'Veon Bell does behind a different offensive line, because obviously James Conner had huge success in Pittsburgh. Obviously, the offensive line had a lot to do with what Le'Veon Bell did.
Yeah, so I still think he's a very special running back, though.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
But running behind going into a different system, can they use him the way Pittsburgh did? You know, will the offensive line hold up? I mean, there's a lot of questions when he goes to a different.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not worried about promoting myself. Actually, this is a good way to promote myself with the Knicks hat, because it shows that I'm a real fan and that I support my teams no matter how piss poor they are.
And I was at the game.
He's got Mets hat on, so there you go.
There you go. As bad as it gets. But,
well, no, this is as bad as it gets. I think we've won 100 games in the last 14 years.
Yeah, but I was at the Knicks game a week ago when the team is like 10-40. So that goes to show you how much of a fan I am.
A week? You're there Monday.
Monday, so 4 days ago, 3 days ago, whatever it was.
And before you knew it, they were down 34-14. It's fantastic. I was in the team. I didn't know where the hell you went. I was looking for you the whole damn time. You disappeared. You're like, the hell with this.
Well, I was at the beginning. You saw me in the beginning, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and then I paid money to go to a game. I'm not going to sit in front of a...
As I said, I don't know who the one guy was.
Who's Mark? He's on Sim Show all the time.
Oh, Mark. Yeah. So he was sitting there the whole time in the chat. I'm like, damn. I'm like, if I had tickets to the Knicks, I love my chat. I ain't sitting there when I'm at the Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care how bad they're getting beat. I'm watching it, especially you guys were in a suite. I'm watching the game from there.
Yeah, I actually came back like the fourth quarter, and I did a little something because they were down like 30 points. But
I had to go. I forgot. Oh, I went to the gym.
You went to work out, yeah.
Yeah, I did my legs. Yeah,
oh,
I do
leg day is the worst.
It is.
Your Knicks came within 4 this year. Yeah, well, I mean, I never root for my team. I never root for my team to lose, but I'm not too upset about it. Let's put it that way. Donald
says, "Baddog, stop! You're a Lakers fan." I get this. I put my PO box in the last Lakers stream. These guys are like Baddog in there with 9 Lakers hats now. I said, if guys sent me Lakers hats, I'd never wear it. I said, but I'd put one there for one of the Lakers streams. So if someone sent me a Lakers hat, I'd throw it up there.
Yeah, why not?
It's because all I stream is Lakers games.
Yeah, why not?
But if you look at my schedule coming up next week, guys, 76ers are in there, Blazers are in there, Jazz, Knicks. There's 2 Lakers games next week, and there's one tomorrow.
We should do Google Hangout for the draft. Kid Blue, I was looking into Google Hangouts because I was looking at a way to be able to have guests on and take phone calls via Skype, and Google Hangouts was one of the alternatives. But I don't get volume on the stream when I use Google Hangouts. I don't get it when I use Appearing. I don't use it when I get Google Hangouts. So I don't know why, but if somebody could figure that out for me, I'm open to it.
Oh, so now you're a Sixers fan too? Yeah, it's got to be the first 2 Sixers games I've done all year.
You go to the gym to farm woman, Scott Thomas says.
The hell's a farm woman?
I guess he means to get women. Maybe that's the term he's using.
I don't need to. I got one. I've had one for 19 years.
Yeah.
No, I go to the gym to stay in shape so that I got a young kid. So, listen, when my son is 13, I'll be 54. And I always say, I don't want to be keeping up with him when he's 16. I want him to be keeping up with me. That's why I stay in shape the way I do.
All right. G-Man, I'm going to ask Rayvon, because I think I'm going to try to get him on my show this week. I'm trying to get as many giant YouTubers as I can for the Super Bowl. And I'll ask him. But I think it's different through OBS than just going. I think I could go live with Google Hangouts not using OBS, and it may work. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, though, so I will ask him. Entertainer, make a Discord. There's a waiting room, and you can pick up who you want to talk to. I don't know how. I mean, if you guys can explain that to me, I'll put my email in the chat. Maybe show me. I'll look into it.
Yeah, I'm a virgin. Yeah. Kind of hard to produce. By
the way, anybody who is not subscribed, probably most of the people in here are subscribed already, but if you have not subscribed to MrBaddog, the link is in the description below. Caesar says he can't wait for the stream on Friday. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Talkin' Nonsense one will be, that'll be amazing.
That'll be one for the books.
Because we get a lot of nonsense in our chat anyway. So it'll be fantastic. And Crispy Bacon's here. It's one of my favorite names.
That's a great name.
He just, I think I met him in the last stream that I did. So
Crispy Bacon, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Crispy Bacon. Yep. Welcome to the channel. And I love your name too. I didn't even get it until Baddog said it. And I said, "Oh, that's creative." So good job.
I like that. Y'all keep hating on my favorite team. I don't hate the Jets. I don't. The Jets do. The Jets don't mean a thing to me. Kind of like the Mets. Mets fans hate the Yankees. I don't care about the Mets. They're in the National League. I care about the Mets 6 times a year.
Detonator.
The Jets I care once every 4 years.
Detonator. You and I talk every time I do. And by the way, I think I'm doing the call-in show Saturday for anybody who's interested. But because I think that's the only day I'm free. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, me and you talk every week. You know I don't hate the Jets. I always give you guys your credit where it's due.
I don't hate the Jets. I just don't like Sam Darnold. I don't think the Jets are good. They have not been good longer than the Giants haven't been good.
Yeah.
I just don't. I always feel like the Jets are one of those teams that just kind of like the Redskins. They just kind of spin their wheels and they don't go anywhere. Well, they just kind of.
The problem with the Jets is the same problem that I want to avoid as a Giants fan. And I think the Jets are finally getting past it. They finally showed some patience and they finally drafted a quarterback. And I know they drafted Sanchez, but they weren't patient with Sanchez. They drafted Sanchez 2 or 3 years later. They bring in Tebow in, they're bringing Vic in, they weren't patient with him. They have never.
He stunk.
Yeah, he was. But to be fair, he did bring him to 2 AFC title games.
The defense brought him there.
No, they did. But you usually don't look to bring in Tim Tebow a year after you go to an AFC title game. You know, he wasn't good. But my point is the problem with the Jets. Well, yeah, I agree. I think Darnold's good. So, but the problem with the Jets for years was they always tried to take shortcuts. They would sign free agent quarterbacks. It would never work.
What do you mean? Fitzmagic did well for them
for 1 year, and then he blew it in the last game of the year. I mean, the one guy for 1 year that did well for them was Testaverde.
Yeah,
as a free agent. So, and Favre did well for the first 8
games. I just like messing with Jets fans about Darnold. It's always fun to listen. It's always fun to attack a team's quarterback because it's like the offensive line. You know, you hit someone's quarterback, like the offensive line goes and attacks. They got to hit. You as a fan, if you go after a team's quarterback, they all